Hello, everybody. It is Wednesday. Yes, we are starting a few minutes late. Slight technical difficulties and work happens. Life happens. But so we're gonna just kind of change things up just slightly for a few minutes here before we actually get started with the showdown. Tonight we have two marked men in the showdown. We have the season's points leader so far. He is rocking through the first round. Where'd we go? 15 points in the first round. Points leader so far, even with a couple people going through 2 rounds. And the other contestant is who took out last year's winner in round 1. So we have Adam from Lost Lantern and Joey, the Whiskey Drinking Panda, who will be with us shortly.
Hey.
Adam, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you?
Wonderful, as usual.
Love the shirt.
Yes. Oh, I'm a little low. I got to come up a little bit.
Gotta rep the sponsors.
That's right. Got to. I wouldn't be able to do the show without them. So, I mean, I probably could, but it is definitely a lot nicer with. So,
you can afford the fancy graphics that put the Marvel movies to shame at the beginning.
There we go. So how's the weather over there in Vermont?
It's pretty icy. In fact, our driveway is a complete sheet of ice, which is a lot of fun and probably something you're familiar with dealing with too. We've had a very snowy winter so far, which is actually kind of a nice change of pace. Usually it doesn't really heat up till January, but we've had like multiple blizzards that dropped like at least a half a foot of snow on us so far, and it just keeps coming.
Wow. Okay. We've had we had some nice snow. We had one storm brought in about 11 inches of snow, and then shortly thereafter, within the next week, then it warmed up to like 38, and then rained, and then freezing rain, and then cold, and then more freezing rain. We've had horrible weather for winter. I mean, I love winter and I like the cold and the snow and all that stuff, but when it starts raining and it's 30 degrees, it's not good for driving.
No good, no fun for walking around outside either.
No. So while we're waiting for Joey was just getting home from work at about 8 minutes after 7. So he needs a few minutes just to gather his thoughts and get ready. So we're just going to shoot the breeze about Lost Lantern for a little bit with Adam here. Figure instead of me talking about it, let's just go right to the source.
Yeah, and I think your folks generally know what we're up to, but I'm excited that today's the 14th. Yeah, tomorrow we're announcing the January Discovery Club release, so that's going to be fun. Okay. Had a couple teases about it so far, but it's a distillery that we've never worked with in it'll be our second distillery from the state that it comes from, but I think it's a state that it will surprise people that we've worked with 2 distilleries from that state. And it's going to be a really fun one. I think very few people will know this place unless they're maybe from that area. And one of the particularly fun discoveries that I've had in the last year or 2.
Excellent. Speaking of the Discovery Club, how is the Discovery Club going?
It's going really well. Like we really, when we put it out, we were not totally sure how people would respond to it, but it feels like people really embraced what we were trying to do, of the message of just trust us to discover interesting things, and we will share them with you and say why we're excited about them. And it's let us work with a lot of distilleries last year and ongoing that we had been looking for a reason to, but they didn't fit nicely into like the Scotch Lovers collection or the Estate collection or whatever else. So I think our first year was almost all new distilleries in a bunch of new states like Maryland, Wyoming, our first Arizona bourbon, although we've done Arizona single malt. Did you have any favorites?
The Oak and Grist, absolute favorite. I mean, realistically for me, that Oak and Grist could have landed in your Scotch Lovers collection for sure. Yeah. That was that is such a good whiskey. Yeah. That's my favorite Discovery Club so far. Now let's take single malts out of the equation because I would totally be biased in that aspect anyways. Was the New Holland, was that a Discovery Club?
Yeah, the New Holland finished in a stout cask.
That one is excellent. I've had the original stuff before, the Dragon's Milk.
Mhm.
Always text me here. That one is excellent. I really dig the new one, the St. Augustine.
Oh,
The
nice.
December's. I think that one's really, really nice. Like I've looked at St. Augustine several times on, a couple of the websites that you can buy them from, and it's just like, yeah, it sounds interesting. I'd like to buy it, but there's other things, right? There's other things. There's always other things. And when that came out, I'm like, cool, I get to try it, and
Yeah.
I was really surprised by it. It was definitely not quite what I was thinking it would have been,
Interesting.
and in a good way. It was better than I was expecting, but really a lovely minty type of bourbon, and
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. So,
And not nearly as oaky as like the rich grain or other things from that kind of a climate. Yeah, I knew the oak and grist was going to be up your alley.
yeah, that whiskey is, I mean, aside from the Scotch Lovers Collection, probably one of the best that you've put out as far as single malts go.
Yeah. And we honestly had a conversation of whether we were going to put it out in the Discovery Club or in the Scotch Lovers Collection, because it really could have fit with either, as could the Warfield, the Idaho single malt that did go in the Scotch Lovers Collection.
Yeah.
And ultimately really could have gone either way on it. It could have ended up in the Scotch Lovers Collection, but ultimately the Warfield was a little higher proof, and that I feel like is a good enticement for people who are a little curious about single malt but don't know that much about it. And the oak and grist felt like even more of a hidden gem. So we're happy with how it turned out, and happy how many people have liked the oak and grist as much as they have.
Yeah, that's it. I need to buy some stuff from them, and I would have never known about them until you guys brought that out in the Discovery Club, which I think is the point of the Discovery Club. To introduce people to places that they wouldn't otherwise know about.
And with places like the St. Augustine, where like a lot of people have heard of them, but just haven't had a chance to try it or haven't happened to choose to try it. And like, it won't always be distilleries we never worked with before. Sometimes down the road, it'll be things you really would not expect from a place you maybe do know, but something that's like very off the beaten path and unusual.
Yeah. And that had to be a cool visit out to that Warfield when you went, because like you walk in and you see those Forsyth stills and you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a good time here.
Yes. I was like, okay, now we're having. It was really a visit I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if it was going to be good or not, as you've heard me talk about before. And yeah, I think I ended up being there for like 3 or 4 hours, and eventually was like, guys, I gotta go. It's gonna get dark before I get to Boise or wherever I was going.
Yeah. Oh, everybody's here tonight. All right. So let's see. Scotch Lovers Collection. How far? I know like the 10-year-old 888 sold out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Has anything else sold out since?
The McCarthy's is basically sold out. There's a little bit left, but will be gone soon. But we actually are sending a little bit more out to our online retailer. We had a little more than we needed the tasting room, and there's been enough online demand for it. We're going to re-up on it. And actually, we ended up getting an order for the McCarthy's 10-year-old from the state of Oregon for a couple of cases. Some of the retailers up there wanted it, and Bottle May helped us get it all set up to be actually be able to send some Lost Land into Oregon for the first time, like to be in stores. So that's the perfect whiskey to make our debut there.
Yeah, very, very much so. Absolutely, probably. I don't think there's even a question. Whiskey of the year for me, for sure. That McCarthy's 10-year. It was a toss-up, however. That 888 6-year peated. That was very close second. That thing is surprisingly good.
I think people are kind of sleeping on it. It's actually the one that I've been drinking more of than anything else in the collection over the cold winter days.
I need to. I do need to jump on and pick up a bottle or two, and I'll probably wait till the Discovery Club shipment to combine everything. But everybody in the chat, if you don't know, Lost Lantern, they are an American independent bottler, and they are bottling only American spirits, whiskey, rye whiskey, single malt whiskey, bourbon whiskey, and some cool, unique things like 100% wheat whiskeys and so on and so forth. Guys, go check them out. Website is lostlanternwhiskey.com. Discovery Club is a once a month bottle shipment. And you get to find distilleries and whiskeys that you would never ever find in your local store, most likely, unless you're from the area that these are coming from. You probably don't know about them, and that is really, really fun. And there's some serious gems in that Discovery Club. I've been in since the beginning, and what are we on? Going on month 9?
Yeah.
I have not been disappointed yet. Not even remotely close to disappointed. So it's great. But with that said, here's Joey, the Whiskey Drinking Panda. Hello, sir.
Everyone. Hello. Sorry being late.
It's okay. You know what? It's okay. We had a chance to talk about Lost Lantern for a little bit here with Adam, so that was nice. Jesus Christ, Joe. So how you doing, Joey?
Scattered brain, but at least I'm here. I'm alive, so it's all good.
All right.
Looking forward to tonight.
Good. Well, as I said in the beginning, you are a marked man. You took out last year's winner in round 1, so you have this small target on your back. And Adam is also a marked man. He is the points leader for the Showdown so far.
Wow.
So both impressive feats, I guess. Anywho, so go ahead, guys. Get those samples opened up. Get them in glasses. Do not lose track of which one's which, because I cannot help you if you do that. And normally we go over this before the show real quick, but we'll do it right here. Any refreshers needed for how this works, Joey, Adam?
Maybe just a quick primer.
All right. So I sent you the 3 samples. I'm sorry. I hand delivered you the 3 samples. And we're going to go through those 3 samples. You're going to try to guess what they are. Generic category, generic proof, generic casking. Then we're going to try to get a little bit more specific on the same 3 things: specific category, specific proof, specific casking. Then you're going to, for bonus points, try to tell me what distillery and bottle you think it might be. Person at the end of the 3 samples with the most points is going to move on in the bracket to round 3, because this is a round 2 battle. Couple of the things that trip people up: generic casking. There's only 3 answers available. Answer 1 is new oak, answer 2 is used oak, and answer 3 is new and used. Specific casking: if you believe that there's more than 2 different types of secondary casking or finishing or whatever types, if it's a blend of a bunch of different casks, give me 2 of the specific caskings that you think were involved, and that will count as a good answer. As far as what type of casking, if you say sherry, it glumps all the sherries together, so you don't have to be specific on that. Same for port, same for red wine, white wine, and beer, except for stout. And the only other thing is, age guessing. Write them down, but don't tell me what they are. We'll use that for a tiebreaker in the instance that we have to. And distillery is where the spirit was made. And while you guys are getting your I can talk tonight. While you guys are getting your samples in the glass and getting your nose in them, getting them in your palate, we'll go through a little roll call.
Okay.
We got a Whiskey Addict. Mike is here. I was late getting the stream set up on YouTube. It didn't happen until about 6:25 tonight. So he was the first one in at 6:25 tonight. We got Off Topic Whiskey. If you do not know, that is that was the Whiskey Shaman, now Off Topic Whiskey. We went through a little rebrand, and he's cheering for the Whiskey Drinking Panda tonight. I think that's because you beat him.
I think so.
Yeah, he wants you to go all the way through now since you took him out.
Hopefully I can do him proud.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe it's a Texas thing too. We got Patty is in the house. The Rangers Respite is here. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Patty. Smoke by Ash Joe is here. Spicy Strawberry. Thank you, Joe and Spice. Whiskey Deke is here. Rough Spirits is here. Thanks, Deke. Thanks, Marshall. Brother Germ is here. That's my brother, if you were curious. Thanks, John. Valerie is in the house. Hey, Val. Are you you got a little while yet. You got just less than a month until you're on again. Hope you're ready. Who else do we got? You guys are chatty. Tipsy Teeny is in the house. Thank you. Thank you, Stace. Dee's Bourbons is here. Caesar, appreciate you. Try to scan so fast here. I forget if I missed somebody. I'm sorry. I am trying to scan pretty fast. Jason Coates is in the house. Thank you, Jason. Ermagerd. Whiskey Franco's here. Thank you, Martine.
This is already harder than last time, and I don't like it.
Yep.
Sorry. It realistically, it can't get any harder than it was the first time, but I always say round 2 should be a little bit harder. Round 3 should be even harder yet. I think the difficulty comes from the opponent versus the actual samples. Man, you guys are chatty. Mama Germ is in the house. We got Brother Germ and Mama Germ. Everybody mind your P's and Q's. My mama's here.
This first one's nice.
It is.
I don't know what it is, but it's nice.
Joe, you're a horrible, horrible person for saying that. And you know exactly which comment I'm talking about. Thanks, Marshall.
Jerm, what are you drinking, if anything?
Oh, we lost Joey. I am actually drinking the Sauternes matured 11-year 888.
Nice.
From none other than Lost Lantern. And if y'all in chat didn't see that coming, I don't know what to tell you.
Oldest whiskey we've ever released, but who's counting?
Patrick is in the house. There's Donut Fisher. Bourbon with Friends podcast is here. Wow, it took me that long to find new names. You guys chat too much. That's what happens when I give you 20 minutes of free time. No, absolutely not, Marshall. I don't even try to keep up with the chat anymore. If I see something good, I'll pop it up there, but Well, what are you guys getting on this one?
On the first one?
Yeah. Well, we should only be drinking the first one, so.
No.
It's very spicy. Decent amount of oak to me.
I'd say, it smells crafty, and that's a good thing. So,
Smells crafty.
yep.
I'm not sure. I understand what you mean because I have been guilty of saying that, but a lot of times
Yes.
that comes with a negative connotation.
No. I think like pot still, maybe. Not necessarily.
Not you, yeah, just it's not mass produced.
Correct.
Yes, yeah. Totally dialed in.
It's heavy.
Yeah. Donald Rance is in the house. Thank you, sir. And yes, I am still trying to catch up on this chat. Okay, we got it. We got it in. All the chat. I'm at the bottom. If I missed you guys in the chat, sorry. I did not forget about my mom, whoever typing that in there. I did say Mama Germ is in the house. Mind your P's and Q's. And there's video evidence of it. Anyways, yes. So for me, drinking, sorry, had my hands full. I am drinking the Lost Lantern 888 Distillery, part of the Scotch Lovers Collection. This beauty is 11 years old, fully matured in a, I'm going to say it because it's funny to me, Saturnez cast. For those of you who don't know that, that's the Sauternes cast. And I'm still probably pronouncing it wrong because that, but Saturnez was about the best pronunciation I have ever heard of that word.
I like that. It's almost better than the real pronunciation.
Right. That was from a live stream on Whiskey Shaman's channel a little while ago, and it was really funny. Patrick, we were just talking about that. It's either very, very close to sold out or is sold out. So if it's something you're looking to do, check all the channels you can. So Sealbox.
It's sold out on Sealbox. We still have it on our site. Few places in California are getting it, but like we're down to the last couple on our site.
There you go. Straight from the source. No better information than that.
Oh, I'm going to get myself in big trouble with this guess.
Cool.
By which I mean I will make myself look like an absolute fool if I'm wrong, but that's the fun.
I'm sure your guess is much better than mine right now. So I think I've convinced myself that I've had this before, but I probably haven't. So.
Caesar, that's a lofty goal. I think if they do anything, it'll be some kind of American spirit that they branch out from whiskey on first before they head into Mexico and start doing tequilas. Although I would not be upset about it. Here's a good question. Spicy Strawberry says, Adam, what's your favorite from the newest collection?
It varies by the day. Honestly, my favorite one that I think has gotten the least attention relative to what it should is the American Vatted Malt Remix blend of single malts from 11 different distilleries, including pretty much all of our favorites, and really a labor of love on Nora's part. And I feel like everyone's been so excited about the McCarthy's and the 888 that we're happy with how it's done, but I feel like it's gotten a little less chatter on the internets.
I think you're right. I really liked that one. I did slightly prefer the original vatted over the remix, but I mean we're splitting hairs here. We're only very slightly. But that remix is a really, really good blend. It really comes through like everybody works together really nicely, and it's not nobody overpowers anybody else in there.
Oh, I saw Donut Fisher just asked a good question that I want to answer.
Yeah. Where are we at here? I was looking for another comment he made. This one?
Yeah. Because I saw some chatter about that on the Discord this morning, and I have never heard of that 20-year-old Massachusetts single malt that is not from 888, and I have some questions, but I did not have a chance to dig into it today.
Okay. Yeah, I have questions as well, because that, I mean, for a distillery to have a 20-year-old bottle of ASM that has gone that under the radar for that long, how, first of all, and I need to know more about this, and where do I get some? And is it truly an ASM?
That's where one of my questions too, because we've
Yeah.
seen at least one brand in the last year put out a something labeled as American single malt. That was Canadian single malt, and needless to say, I don't particularly care for that.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
All right, I think I'm down with number one and totally wrong, but very curious what Joey thinks too.
Yeah, me too.
Donut Fisher, let's chat after the show. We'll get you figured out, bud. Okay, am I hearing you guys are both ready?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, sample number one. Adam, we'll go ahead and start with you. Generic category.
Generic category, I'm going to go rye.
Okay. ABV proof, generic.
Say 132 for the generic ABV proof.
And casking?
New oak.
Wow.
Non-specific category.
I'm going to go with straight rye whiskey.
And specific ABV proof?
Let's say 133.
Tree. And casking?
New American oak.
And new. And do you have a distillery and bottle in mind?
I do, and here's where I get myself in really big trouble if I'm totally wrong. So I'm going to guess that this is a rye whiskey from Corbin Cash Distillery in California.
Okay.
And the exact bottle, I'm going to guess Lost Lantern Corbin Cash Rye number 2.
Rye 2.
And I am not super high confidence in this, so I will not be shocked if I'm totally wrong. But
you don't want to miss the opportunity to miss one of your own bottles again.
I don't want to miss one of the opportunities to really embarrass myself when it's like
no pressure.
All
it's
right.
got like a rye from South Africa or something.
Joey, what do you got? Same
right.
questions. Generic category.
Yeah, this feels like the first round where I'm just sort of out in left field. I think I've had something similar to this, and so I'm just gonna stick with my gun on this. So I feel as though it's single malt, and it's finished. In terms of, I think that's the generic, and then of course, generic wise, I think the proof is like 119 or around that range.
Okay, 119 we want to go with?
Yeah, I could be off on that one, but.
And generic type of casking?
Just, I guess, is finished a generic type? I can be more specific.
New used or new
Used.
and used?
Used.
And then we'll get in what type of finishing cask when we do the specific cask.
Okay.
Specific category, you said single malt for generic?
Correct.
Specifically, what kind of single malt?
American single malt.
ASM.
Yep.
Perfect. And specific ABV,
Specific ABV, I think 119.5.
staying with the 119 range.
Yep.
Cool. And specific casking,
I'm gonna go with rum finished.
rum. And do you have a bottle and distillery in mind?
I know it seems odd, but I almost tasted like a slight peatiness to it, and I had something similar to it in Andalusia. So like I'm gonna go with Andalusia single malt. That's sort of a rum peat finished.
Okay. You got it.
Of course, I say that now, and now it smells different, but that's fine.
Once you put it out there vocally, it changed, right?
It does. It's all right. It's out there in the ether.
All right. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Move on to sample number 2. Joe, I know they're picking on you for being a backseat producer, but thank you for the tip. I totally forgot about that.
I like having your image on the bottom because I just picture you being in like a entire basement filled with whiskey, and I have no idea. It could well be on the top floor of your house, but for whatever reason, it feels like you're in the basement surrounded by whiskey on all sides.
Not on all sides. It's 1 11-foot wall. Floor to ceiling, 11 feet wide.
Nice.
And it is in the exact middle of my house. Did I see somebody's talking about Dylan here? Well, Dylan, if I missed your entrance, I'm sorry. There you are. Small Craft US. Guys, go follow Small Craft US on YouTube and the Instagram. Dylan is a grade A individual and also a contestant on the show who will be in round 2 here coming up shortly. What do we got? Not next week, week after. Today's the 14th, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we got the 21st and then we got the 28th. So yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks for you, Dylan. Hope you're ready.
Did Doug have his second round yet?
Doug's second round is next week.
Okay.
That's why it was so last week was a pain because I couldn't reschedule it because then the winner of that one was already on the 21st. So there was no way we could have rescheduled and got samples out and all that stuff. So it ended up being a forfeit in Doug's favor. And we went through and did the show anyways, got his points total. So he came in at 7 points on his guessing, but
all right.
But he's going up against the Whiskey Deke.
And Bartlemay won her second round, right?
She did. Yep. She won second round. So if you win, you're going up against Bartlemay and well, whoever wins tonight is going up against Bartlemay. Let's put it that way. That's an easier way.
All right. I'm throwing the match starting right now.
Oh, I shouldn't have told you that. Is that what's going on? I might as well not even show up for that. If it's you and Bartlemay, I mean, you guys can just run the show. Bartlemay loves to talk, and I love listening to her talk. So she tells great stories. She's got great information. She's just awesome.
Can we bet on this in DraftKings yet?
I'm working on it. Maybe for season 4, I'll get that in there. Yeah, you can take a parlay.
How specific does the specific casking have to be again?
So
If I say used, do I have to specify?
yep. So I mean, if you think it's sherry, say sherry. If if you think it's any type of sherry, just say sherry. If you think it's any type of port, just say port. Obviously, ex-bourbon is a specific. We don't have to get into first fill, second fill, third fill, that kind of stuff. Stout cask is the only beer that needs to be called out specifically.
Okay.
And I think that's about it. I mean, then there's then there's the Sauternes and the Madeira and the PDC and all that kind of stuff. And there's so many out there that just gets crazy to try to specify all those. So I'm trying to figure out how to group everything together the best way possible in that. So, but it's a work in progress always.
That makes sense.
I think that could be fun on DraftKings. I think Adam's onto something there. Maybe I should try that. Oh, Dylan's going to start getting into Lost Lantern now.
That is strongly encouraged by me. We don't have any balcones coming out in the near future, but we actually just did one as a private cask for Sealbox. It was a balcones corn whiskey that I had been looking to find a good home for a long time because I really loved it. And we decided we couldn't do balcones in the Discovery Club because, that's one of the most well-known distilleries that we work with. So we wouldn't really be introducing them to many people, but that was a perfect outlet for it. But nothing else on the immediate horizon. Which is not to say there won't be more. There will, but I mean, nothing coming up on Coming Whiskey yet anyway.
Yeah. Coming Whiskey, Jake, he does great things, except the surprise is gone when something comes out. All right.
If you ask him not to publish stuff, and
right, and he has told me several times that they asked me not to say anything. And a couple different places have done that for him or to him, which he's good about it. I think if you've asked him.
If I ask him not to publish something in particular, I try to give him a scoop on something else, just because that's the way I go.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it makes sense. What are you guys getting on this one?
It's sweet. It's very nice. I love it.
It's sweet. Nice. I like that. This is a nice whiskey. I will say that.
Yes.
It is.
One of my absolute favorites.
Yeah.
Interesting. I have
random names coming into the chat. Are they in comment and leave, or are they sticking around?
Yeah, I get some notes of cream brulee on this. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Works for me.
Adam pays too much attention to the chat. That's what's going on here.
That's correct. I have medium confidence in my distillery for this and absolutely no idea what bottle it is, because it's a place that if it's a place I think it is, you've got a bunch of them and they're all quite different from each other.
Correct.
All right.
I think I have confidence in what it sort of is, but yeah, as far as specifics, I have no clue, but something familiar.
I'm obviously guessing the bottle and the distillery. I mean, distillery is probably easier than the bottle.
Possibly.
I would say. But both of those things are incredibly hard. I mean, you would have to have very clear markers for certain things and
Correct.
be like, confident that I got those markers. They're the only ones that have ever given me these, so I'm going with that. But yeah, I mean, and that's why those two are bonus points. The generic category and the specific category. Generally speaking, you can probably land a category pretty good. Now there's some difficulty between a high rye bourbon and a rye or
Yeah.
those types of categories, but I think you guys knew which way this wasn't going when you looked at the color.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. Unless you guys totally threw me for a loop and then.
Yeah, based on the color, I'm thinking this is at least a 25-year-old bourbon finished in Pedro Jimenez sherry
Hey,
cask.
that's exactly
another
what I
2 years.
had.
That is definitely Pappy 23 finished for a year in a PX cast. Yeah. All right. How we doing on these guesses?
I think I'm ready.
Good as I'm going to get.
Yeah.
All right, Joey, we're going to start with you on this one.
All right. So generic category. I went with Scotch single malt.
Okay.
I went
with go ahead.
Used casks.
Generic ABV or proof?
I went with 125 around there.
Okay. Specific category, you said Scottish single malt, staying with that?
Yeah, Speyside.
And specific ABV proof?
123.
1, 2, 3. I like it. I like that guess. 1, 2, 3. Specific type of casking.
So I went with 2 on this one. I did bourbon, and then I went with a white wine sort of finish, so like Sauterne.
And do you have distillery and bottle in mind?
Glenallachie, and yeah, I don't have really a specific, just an age. So
I just realized I do not know how to spell Glenallachie off the top of my head. All right. Very good. Adam, what do you have, sir?
Generic category, I have single malt. So I have some things similar, some things different. Generic proof, I said 114. Casking, I went used oak. But I'm not saying Scotch, I'm saying American single malt. Specific proof 113.6. That is really not because I have a particular bottle in mind. I just thought it sounded good. Specific casking, I'm going with ex-bourbon cask. Exact distillery, I'm going to say Andalusia Whiskey Company in Blanco, Texas. Blanco. And the exact bottle is where I had a hard time. Feels to me like there's a little bit of smoke on it, but not too much. So I'm going to say it's some weird version of Striker or something like that. Let's go with the Tejas.
Ooh, the Tejas.
Which I don't think I've ever had.
All right.
But I thought it'd be fun to say Tejas, which it was.
It is. It is fun to say that word.
Yes.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff all the way through. All right. Sample number 3. Go ahead and get into that one.
Has anyone in the chat ever had Moxie?
What is Moxie?
It's a Massachusetts soda. I think it's kind of like RC Cola in its
Okay.
weirdness. Oh, this is so sweet on the nose.
So sweet.
With some
It's so
spiciness
sweet.
underneath it.
Yeah, so sweet that it's hard for me to figure out what it is.
I have I can't join you in knowing what knowing what you're talking about. I haven't had this one in a while, so I don't have a fresh memory of the flavor. Ethan, thank you for coming in, buddy. Appreciate you. Is this in reference to Texas calling every soda Coke?
Massachusetts calls it soda, as does Vermont, except in Vermont, nobody really drinks it. We're all about this is seltzer country.
Oh, Sundrop. Now that's a good soda. And it is soda. It's not pop. Pop is your dad.
But using Coke as a generic is the worst. Like if you're like, I just want a Coke and you mean a Sprite, that makes no sense to me.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or if you want a Coke, they're referring to a Pepsi. It's like, no.
It's like the soda equivalent of is this a whiskey or is this a bourbon?
This is funny, Marshall. It's all Coke unless it's Pepsi, and then we take a Dr. Pepper. I love it.
It's so candied, this one.
Super sweet is what we're getting so far, huh?
Super sweet, like honey sweet.
I kind of want to have some with you guys before I get into that 888 peated one.
Oh, come on, have some with us. Just don't show us the bottle, or actually do. That would really help us both.
Just a
I
little
know you would love that if I accidentally pulled the bottle up on camera. Let's see how good I can do this here.
So, Joey, I've been talking a lot about Lost Lantern. What about you? Where are you based?
I'm based out of Houston.
Okay, cool.
But I've had Lost Lantern. That's what sort of got me into trying Westland. So I bought my dad a bottle of Lost Lantern because his family's in Vermont, up in the St. Albans region, and I thought it'd be a pretty cool thing. And enjoyed that bottle from Westland, and that's what got me down that path. So
nice. It's cool.
Yeah.
What cool distilleries do you have in Houston that you like? I know there's at least 2 that I know of in the Houston area.
William Price is I think really good. Giant Distillery has some good stuff coming, up and coming stuff. Giant also does a lot of bottling of some really interesting stuff, like the Prideful Goat, and trying to think of some of their other spirits over there. They do some independent bottling. But
did the Prideful Goat make a switch? Because they used to be MGP.
So the rye was an MGP. It's always been an MGP. But the bourbon, I've got a 15-year bourbon from the Prideful Goat, and that was not from MGP.
Okay.
Some say Heaven Hill, some say Beam. I don't know, but it's fantastic. So, but since then, I think they've moved to MGP. I think they have like an 8-year bourbon. So.
Houston is the biggest city in the country that I have not been to.
Really?
I've been to all the other big Texas cities, although San Antonio only very briefly. Been to Dallas a bunch of times, but have never had either a whiskey reason or a personal reason to go to Houston yet. But I hear you got an amazing food scene there.
I would say, I've had the joy of living in a lot of cool places. I've lived in Chicago, and I would say Houston is by far the most diverse city I've ever been to. You can pretty much have anything from Vietnamese, Korean to any type of African or Mediterranean sort of cuisine to Tex-Mex, Mexican, or it runs the gamut. And of course, barbecue runs rampant around here.
You're just listing all the things that we don't have in Vermont.
Yeah, no, we don't have diverse food here.
There's never a dull moment when it comes to eating here in Houston.
Well, I get I get the sweetness, but I don't get a very like over the top sweetness. I get something else here.
I guess with everything else, Chris, but that's how we're influenced in terms of our smell and taste. But this one just jumps out sweetness big time.
Maybe coming off of that second sample being a little bit sweeter, maybe that's adding to the sweetness of this, because this does have a sweetness to it. But I'm getting a really nice nuttiness that's not like walnuts or anything like that, but that like the very thinly sliced almonds. Almost like an Almond Joy candy bar.
If you could finish a whiskey in marzipan.
Ooh.
Lenora makes fun of me because I always confuse marzipan and marmalade. One of them is almonds, one of them is oranges, and I can never remember which is which. And she was watching too. I don't know if she's still. I think she still is because I think I hear myself downstairs on a delay.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
She likes to be a lurker.
Well, Nora, if you're watching, hi.
We're allowed to guess off of your list, right? Like using your list to figure out what it could be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
So I give the list because how that started was there was a few people in the competition that were actually inside of this room, and they were able to physically see and touch whatever, and some people were not. So it's like, okay, let's even the field a little bit. I'll put out a list so that everybody has the same information. I keep it pretty up to date. If a bottle goes away, it comes off the list. If I add a bottle, it goes on the list. Now, that means that at the time of pouring these samples, there may have been bottles added to or taken away since then. So that may not be on there, or, that kind of thing. It may have been on there and now is not on there. But, yeah, for the most part, it's pretty accurate. And as Doug always says, it seems kind of silly to take a bottle guess of something he doesn't even have. Where are you going tomorrow? I love mascarpone cheese, or mascarpone, whatever you want to call it.
This is the hardest one just because it's so funky. It's good. I like it. But it's hard to pin down.
Oh, the Northwestern. They're talking about Caesar was talking about the Crimson Cafe. That was the sandwich place he was talking about. But the Northwestern is crazy as well. How y'all going to come up here and have Northwestern, and I'm going to be in Wausau? I think we should do a sandwich swap on the way somewhere. I can see this one being very hard to guess is what it is. Now, obviously, I'm not going to have a hard time because I know what it is, but I could see getting this blind. It would be difficult to pin it down. No, I did not show them the beautiful carpeted walls of the Northwestern. We have a bar restaurant here in town. It has been around for a long, long time. It actually has carpet on the wall. And I'm sure it hasn't been touched since the 70s. So, you know, when smoking was available in the bars and all of that, that is all in that carpet. But they make some awesome sandwiches, and it's a great value. Well, that's because you wouldn't make him a sandwich. That's the payback you get there.
The way you just described that place, that's kind of how I picture most places in the Wisconsin Northwoods, because that's true in the Adirondacks of upstate New York, which is right near here.
Yeah.
Like, all feels very like 70s and 80s interior design. Is that what it's like up there?
Yep. Yeah, things don't change fast around here. If you get a new, you know, like a modern interior of someplace, it was probably just purchased and revamped.
Yeah.
But even when people do that, they come back to a rustic, old school vibe.
I'm still waiting for the station wagons with the wood paneling to come back, but any day now.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
Sorry for the dog again.
Oh, you're good. You love dogs. You like dogs? I like dogs. How we doing on this one, guys?
We got settled on something, but it's
we got some confusing looks here.
I got my guess. It's going to earn me a nice juicy 0 to 2 points, but
perfect. 0 to 2 is good.
I got to fall behind in points somehow.
Okay. All right. So am I hearing you guys are both ready?
Yep.
Perfect. Let's get her going. Adam, we're going to start with you. Generic category.
After much debate, I'm going with bourbon as a generic category. And generic proof, I'm going 100. And correct me if I'm wrong as I continue with how I do this. For casking, I'm saying new and used because I think this is a finished bourbon.
Okay.
Which is, does finished bourbon count as a specific category?
It is. It is a specific category. The actual name of that specific category would be straight bourbon whiskey finished in a whatever cask. But if you say finished bourbon, we all know what you mean.
Okay. Holding on 100 for the ABV or the proof. Specific casking, I'm saying new and orange.
Ooh.
Which would make sense when I get to the bottle. You can decide if you'll allow that or not at that point.
Okay.
For distillery, I was torn between two based on your list, but I'm going with Driftless Glen in your neck of the woods. And for the bottle, their Bourbon de Naranja.
So those casks of the Naranja are
Did you call
orange.
it like sherry or orange or what?
It is actually orange infused sherry. So they take a sherry cask and they fill it with orange peels.
Okay. All right. So specific casking, new and orange infused sherry casks. Pretty sure if I didn't get the bottle right, I didn't get the specific casking right.
Right.
And I don't think I got the bottle right.
Joey, what do you got, sir?
Again, I feel like I'm left field again, so
okay.
I'm just going to go with my gut, and I'm going to say specific category is rye, and it's going to be new and used oak.
And generic ABV or proof?
Generic ABV. I went a little bit higher on this, or higher than I initially thought, but I went with 120.
120. Okay. Specific category.
Straight rye, finished.
Finished rye whiskey.
Yeah.
Finished rye. And specific ABV or proof.
I went with 118.
118.
Yep.
Okay. And specific type of casking. You said new and used, so obviously new is one of them.
I went with like a peated rye. So
Okay.
maybe something
Like
that
an
had
ex-peated cask, yes.
peat. Yep.
Makes sense. Okay.
And then for specifics, I went with Liberty Pole's peated rye. I don't know why. Just it reminded me of that, and I'm gonna stick with it. So
Very cool. All right. Just doing a quick total count here to make sure we do or do not have a tie.
I was gonna say it's gonna be pretty easy for mine. I'll be a quick 0.
Nobody got 0, so that's
Okay.
good. Nobody got 0. All right. So as it usually goes, the question to both of you: out of the 3, which one was your favorite?
Oh man, I can see myself drinking number 2 a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But 3 I think is very unique, and I don't know if it's because of just this lineup, but I really enjoyed 3 probably the most.
Okay.
I'm going with 1 is my favorite.
Number 1 was your favorite. Interesting. So that means we're going to go with sample number 2 as the first reveal. And all right, sample number 2. Adam and Joey, you both said single malt. You both are correct. It is a single malt. Adam, you said 114 for a generic ABV or proof. Joey, you said 125. Both of you are a bit high, so no points on that one.
Darn.
Generic casking, both of you said used. Used casking it is. You both get a point there. Adam, you said American single malt. Joey, you said Scottish single malt. And the winner is Adam. You were going to take a point there. It is an ASM. Specific ABV proof. Adam, you came in at 113.6. Joey, you said 123. Neither of you are going to get points there. It is actually at 50% or 100 proof on the head. Adam, you said ex-bourbon for specific casking. Joey, you said ex-bourbon and a white wine. Adam, you are going to take a point there. It is ex-bourbon and ex-bourbon only.
Wow. So sweet.
Adam, your distillery guess was Andalusia in the Tejas bottle. Joey, you said Glen Alecky and didn't really give me a bottle. Either way, nobody's going to get any points on the bonus section. The exact distillery is Westland. And the exact bottle is Calere, the first edition.
That was my second guess. I almost wrote it down and I didn't because I was like,
There we go.
pretty sure it's Andalusia.
This is my absolute favorite Calere, and it is getting dangerously low, and I know I will not be able to replace this one, and that's going to make me upset, but it is what it is. So that ends in a favor, or in a 4-2 in favor of Adam. Okay. Then let's see. We'll just go to sample number 1, I guess, here. Sample number 1. Adam, you said rye whiskey. Joey, you said single malt whiskey. Neither one of you are going to get a point there. It is a bourbon.
Off to a good start.
Adam, you said 132 proof. Joey, you said 119 proof. Again, both of you are. Oh, no, you're not both high. Adam, you're high. Joey, you're low. It's right in between you guys. It came in at 63% or 126 proof. Adam, you said new for generic casking. Joey, you said used. Adam, you're going to take a point there. It is new casking. Adam, you said straight rye whiskey. Joey, you said American single malt. Neither one of you are going to get points on that. It is a high rye bourbon. Adam, you came in at 133. Joey, 119.5 for specific ABV proof. Again, we're at 63% or 126 proof. And in all actuality, the labels does say 126.1 proof, but it doesn't say 63.05%. So I'm not sure which way to go on that one, but either way, neither one of you were close enough there to worry about that. Adam, you stuck with the new casking. Joey, you went with a rum cask. Adam, you're going to take a point on that one. It is new oak, and then it is also finished with new aspen staves in the new barrels.
Interesting.
Adam, you said Corbin Cash as a distillery, and the Lost Lantern bottling of Corbin Cash, the number 2. Joey, you said an Andalusia, and you said some rum finished and slightly peated.
Yes.
So that bottle would be the Revenant Oak rum finished.
That's
They
right.
do have that. It's one of their 3 little 375 samples or 3-pack that they have.
That's very good.
But the exact distillery is 291 out of Colorado. I do believe as soon as I said Aspen Staves, if you know anything about 291, you knew that's what they were because they are the only ones that do that, I believe.
Correct. Yeah.
And then this bottle is the HR, which stands for High Rye. Excellent whiskey. I love what the Aspen Staves do to the whiskey. I think it's really cool. I do need to get some more stuff from 291 because I think they do great things.
What's the age statement on that?
It doesn't actually have a statement. It says aged for a minimum of 1 year. So I know drinking this, it's way more than a year old. It's got to be at least 3 or 4 at a minimum. But for all their bottles, just in case they release something. And then what do we got? Sample 3 is the last one left. So that was a 2-0 in Adam. So we are at
2-6.
6-2. Yeah. Okay, sample number 3. This one had you guys intrigued, to say the least. Adam, you said this was a bourbon. Joey, you said rye. Joey, you're going to take a point. It is a rye whiskey. Adam, you said 100 proof. Joey, you said 120 proof. Adam, you're going to take a point there. It is actually 50% or 100 proof, right on the head. Generic casking, you both said new and used, so no points there. It is new and new only. Adam, you said a finished bourbon. Joey, you said finished rye, so no points there. It is actually a blend of straight rye whiskeys or a vatted straight rye whiskey.
Oh, stinky.
Specific ABV proof. Adam, you kept at the 100, so you're going to get a point there. Joey, you came down to 118, but we are at 100 proof. Specific casking. Adam, you said new and orange sherry cask. Joey, you said new and peated cask. So no points on that. Distillery. Adam, you said Downers Grove.
Close. Drifter's Glen.
My Illinois people will laugh at that. You said Driftless Glen. I always write DG for Driftless Glen, and it threw me for a loop. Joey, you said Liberty Pole. Neither one of you got that right. However, you're both going to get 2 points on this one because the distilleries are undisclosed. There is one distiller. There's 2 distilleries that are disclosed being undisclosed. So the distilleries in this bottle come from Kentucky, Indiana, Pennsylvania, and Alberta. So we can assume that Indiana is MGP. We can assume Alberta is the Alberta Premium Distillery, or whatever the name of that distillery is. I don't know off the top of my head. But Kentucky and PA, they do not disclose who they are. So it's a crapshoot on who actually made this whiskey. So I gave you guys the points for that guess. However, the bottle guess, Bourbon de Naranja for you, Adam, and a Liberty Pole peated rye for you, Joey. So no points there. This is actually, let me find the front of this thing, the Lock, Stock, and Barrel vatted rye.
Interesting.
And this is 22-1 batch. So out of 2022. Now, the question came up to me. This was my question that I came up with that I thought maybe somebody would ask. Alberta does, I think you're right, Jason. Alberta distillers. I think that's correct. Alberta does do rye whiskey and use casks. They use first fill ex-bourbon casks, and they use second, third fill as well. But they also do use brand new Char 4 American white oak casks. Because this label is labeled straight rye whiskey, they sourced new barrel rye whiskey from Alberta for this blend.
Wow.
It's very similar to what Whistle Pig does as well, because they buy Alberta whiskey as well. So that is why this becomes a new only and a straight rye, or a blend of straight rye whiskeys. So with that, that is a 4-3 in favor of Adam on this one. So we have a 10-5 in favor of Adam overall. So
Great stuff.
Congratulations, Adam.
Thank
Again, you are
Well,
now really in the points lead because that's 25 for 2 rounds, and the next closest is 18 for 2 rounds. So you're doing well, sir. You're doing well.
Well, this was fun, and it was a hard one. All really interesting whiskeys.
That single malt in between the two powerful bourbon and rye probably was difficult to come through.
It was a little sneaky, but it was a good curveball. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I'm glad you enjoyed number 2, Joey. I don't know. I think we talked last time, and I think your preferential whiskey is bourbon rye. And you're starting to dabble into some single malts a little bit more.
That's correct. And really into Westland. What's funny is I think I've got the version 3 of this bottle.
Okay.
And it's completely different from this. But I love everything that Westland is putting out. So it doesn't surprise me.
It is one of my favorites. The Calere is really cool because it explores single varietal barleys.
Correct.
So yes, the barley is very different in each version, and it makes for a very different flavor. So,
and it's so different from the other Outpost versions, so like the Garyana, and the peated version. I'm trying to remember what that one was, but yeah,
Solom.
That's right, Solom.
Very good as well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, excellent. So Adam, that means you are going up against the Bartolome.
Oh no.
And I see February 15th. So let me know if that does or does not work to you. Because I know both of you guys are going to be, because you're both very busy people. So we will have to make sure that works for everybody here.
Yeah, we'll message about it. We'll figure out something.
Okay. Yeah, that should be an epic one, Jason. Joey, did we lose you?
I'm here. Sorry.
Good game, Joey. It was nice to meet you.
You too. And I'm sorry for being late. I apologize, but
all good.
Appreciate you guys having me over. And this was fantastic. I really enjoyed tonight. Thank you.
Absolutely. Joey, I appreciate you coming on. I guess I got to appreciate you getting taking Randall out of the competition right off the bat. Everybody else is probably real happy about that too.
I feel bad for Randall because I had such a poor showing tonight, but maybe next year I'll have a better showing. So,
well, hey, absolutely. I like the spirit. I like the spirit.
thank you.
And yeah, so Adam, 215 up against the Bartolome. We'll talk and make sure that works for both you guys. So I think, yeah, we got just about a month until we need to figure that out. Or we'll try to figure that out ahead of time, but until that happens. And then we got no show tomorrow, guys. Finally, not on a Thursday doing a makeup round. However, next week, Thursday, there will be a makeup round for Southern Bourbon Addict and his friend Ashley. That'll be on the 22nd. And that will be the last makeup from round one. So hopefully we can keep flowing forward on Wednesdays and all of that. So but other than that, everybody, I thank you very much. I know I forgot to run the Dick's ad. So real quick, we lost Joey. But real quick, if you guys come to the state of Wisconsin, do not leave the borders without stopping at Richard's Liquors. Go pick up some Dick Picks. Go buy some bottles from Richard's. Go in, have a chat with Zach and the people that work there. It's a really great place, great store. The picks are fantastic. And tell Zach that Jerm sent you in. And maybe you'll get a koozie or an I Love Dick shirt out of it or something. Who knows? All right, everybody, thank you so much for coming into the chat. I appreciate you. Appreciate you watching, sticking around. Adam, excellent job. Joey, I know you bounced out of here, but excellent job to you as well. Thank you for entertaining. And until next week, Wednesday, guys, we'll see you later. So cheers.
Cheers. Have a good night, everyone.